It's estimated that thousands of pregnant migrants cross the U.S. Mexico border every year, often facing harmful conditions to do so. Many migrants are pressured to abort, unaware of resources available to them at pro-life pregnancy centers on either side of the border. One nonprofit houses women in 2 shelters, one in Texas and one in Mexico, named Shelter and Casa Maris, with Our Lady of Guadalupe as their patron. They offer shelter and life-affirming resources for migrant mothers, enabling them to choose life while they are seeking asylum, whether it's diapers, food, or clothes for their children. The pro-life group Democrats for Life of America recently took a trip to volunteer at those pro-life pregnancy centers, and they shared their experience in a webinar.
These women are told along the way, oh, you can't keep your baby. There's no place to support a baby. You can't. And so many women choose abortion along the way, even while they're trying to get to the border. A few weeks ago, there were 80 people there. And when we visited, there were 0. This is the big fall off of people's trust that they can even make it across the border. They don't know what to do. It's just a time of real uncertainty.
Joining me now to discuss the situation of migrant mothers at the border is Karina Breceda, the co-founder of 2 pregnancy centers, Shelter and Casa Maris. Thank you so much for joining us, Karina. First, can you tell me about what you're seeing day to day at your shelters, especially with the shifting situation at the border?
Yeah, well, right now, because of the pushback in policy, we've had really low numbers. The flow of migration has really drastically reduced, pushing people underground. So that has caused us to, reevaluate what that means in reaching vulnerable women for services.
Yeah, and to explain to our viewers, could you show us some context of the kind of numbers you were getting before this happened?
Yes. So last year, we were seeing thousands of people. Personally, we took care of 532 people at our shelters, and this was just in the families that we would attend. This wouldn't include people we would do outreach for. And right now, a lot of our outreach is in centers or in train stations or in community centers, kind of trying to build that, the routes of migration that have collapsed at the moment.
And what kind of resources do you generally provide women at the border, and what challenges do you face in providing care to mothers?
We provide a safe place, a dignified housing. We provide, we have a lactation support and community of mothers. We provide anything a woman might need through their stages of pregnancy.
And what would you want to tell mothers at the border who don't think life is an option for them?
The women that have come to us, usually we think that the fear of pregnancy would be resources or even the place to give birth. But the fears that mothers have shared with us is that they're afraid to do this alone, and to know that you have a community of women, you have a community on both sides of the border that will be there with you to walk with you every step of the way, and that won't be an experience that you'll walk alone.
It's great that you can provide that for them. And how does your center receive funding? If our audience wanted to help, how can they do so?
You could go to our donation link, which is Border Life International. You can also go to our website at newwavefeminist.com. And you can also reach me on my Instagram, Karina Breceda, and reach out to me directly.
Great. And now you mentioned that you've had to kind of shift the work you're doing to do more outreach to the communities. Could you tell us a little bit about the mural project initiative you have planned?
So we thought about, okay, what does pro-life hospitality look like? What does pro-life through culture look like? Because it's a very important part of my community. We have a big mural culture here, and with Artisans of St. Joseph and based out of Boston, we designed these 2 murals representing Mother Cabrini of the U.S. and St. Toribio of Mexico to show the binationality of the church in humanitarian aid and in border issues. And we've taken this image to a lot of the points of migration and community centers to talk about our services. And because we're a big faith community, people connect with it. It is like a symbol of hope for them. And I'm really excited that we put that on the shelter as this to create this like welcoming environment for the people we serve.
That's great. Well, Karina, thank you so much for the work that you're doing on the border, and thank you for serving life wherever it's needed.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.